Okay. You waiting for the doctor? Waiting for the doctor can be very irritating, can it? First, you'll wait in the waiting room for like an eternity, and then the nurse will come in and say, the doctor will see you now, except the doctor won't see you now for another 45 minutes. So you'll sit there on this paper-covered examination table wearing this giant, crunchy paper dress, feeling like a giant piece of origami. And sometimes I weigh myself. I am lying, I do not weigh myself. Now, I usually just wait. Funny, isn't it? How you can be in a place so beautiful and ridiculous at the same damn time. In 2015, Dr. Alexander Mafet-Bateo found that black women are more likely to be misdiagnosed and mistreated than white women. In fact, black Americans continue to have a painful experience with the medical industry in general, an industry who has regulated the worth of our pain to its laboratory studies. To physicians, the pain of blacks just seem less. Using the work of Jenny Allen, a white author, through My Black Body, this performance seeks to expose our shared pain as one the medical industry needs to listen to, a pain they have an obligation to treat carefully, humanely. I Got Sick, and Then I Got Better, by Jenny Allen. Yeah, found out I was sick. Cancer, obviously. But you see all these depressed, bald women out here? Yeah, I was determined not to be them. Now, don't get me wrong, all right? There we go. Yeah. I was bald too. But, you know, I was determined not to be them, you know, depressed. God, I hated the sight of it. Now, personally, I thought we were all in a great place, you know? We were getting the treatment that we needed. We were like a, what do you call it? A sorority, yeah. And I was the eager new pledge. I would wave to my fellow patients, give them a little smile. They would wave back, probably hating my ass, but I felt good, you know, I wasn't acting. And one day I got my pathology report and I laid it on the table and I had my friend Dana come in and read it for me since she was a former nurse and I didn't understand any of that stuff. And she says, "You're a 2C, Jenny." And I'm like, okay, I knew I was stage 2. I didn't know this shit had letters to it. What's after 2C? And she said, 3. Really? 3? And after 3 is 4. And after 4, and I went to my room, and I laid there with the covers pulled over my head for about maybe 13 hours until my husband came home. Don't get me wrong, I love my husband. Well, I loved my husband, but he's not entirely present. Ugh. Ugh. And one day he came back from work and I said, "I'm a 2C, Jules." And he looks at me and he goes, "Okay, okay, cool. What's for dinner?" What's for dinner? Are you fucking kidding me? No, I needed a husband at the time who was going to be my advocate, who was going to fuss over me, who was going to go on the internet, find out all about my disease, leaving out all the depressing parts, not to ask me what's for fucking dinner. But I hated that, you know? People always tried to do things to comfort me and make me feel better, but everything people did to try to comfort me just pissed me off. No, for real. For example, people said, "There's always somebody worse off than you, Jenny." Huh. Now, how can you feel good about your own calamity? By measuring it against somebody else's worst calamity. And what if the worst off person people are thinking about is you? Like, damn, at least I'm not Jenny. That would suck. People said, "You never get more than you can handle." No, I feel like people get more than they can handle all the time. You know, that's why people jump off buildings and kill themselves. And the one I hated the most, the one I hated the most was people said, "Everything happens for a reason." Now I feel like things happen for no reason at all, or more reasons than we can ever tease apart in any way. When people say everything happens for a reason, what they're actually saying is everything happens for a purpose. And I'm sorry, but I don't believe in that kind of divine direction. Now I do think life is beautiful. It is, and it's a gift. And it's worthwhile, and it's amazing. I just don't think there's a big plan. No, I just think accidents happen. See, no answers. Until I had a checkup with my oncologist. And she asked me, "How are you feeling, Jenny?" So I gave it to her straight. I said, "You know, I feel like what has happened to me is like it's like being in a really, really, really violent car accident. Except the accident is still happening. You know, I feel like this world, this horrible place was supposed to have in it people who were supposed to protect me, but they hadn't. You know, I feel like I might not have gotten ovarian cancer, or I might have been cut sooner if the first doctors had just done some more tests. You should have paid attention to my pain. You know, I feel like I'm dying, and I will continue to die with no answers." And she says to me just like this, you know, face blank as a doll, no emotion. She says, "What do you want me to say, Jenny? That there are bad doctors? That you were misdiagnosed? That you might not make it? That you are going to die, Miss Jenny Allen?" Tops it off with, "I'm sorry for the inconvenience." Yes. Yes, you dick, that is exactly what I wanted you to say. My God, he was not sorry for me. He was not sorry at all.